guys, Elisa Mousy here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Sorry if that was a little loud. My mic looked like it was a little loud. God, I gotta fix everything. So, last time, we finished up in the alienage. We found something very wrong. Actually, let me... There, that might be a little better. That Templar guy died. There was something in the orphanage that I'm not sure that's over. But before we go in the Landsmeet, I wanted to stop and check in with everybody. I also want to see... I'm pretty sure I turned in everything I could. So... start here.
Something you need, my dear?
Aw. Is there anything...
Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
Where do you see this going between us?
I don't know. Arleman wants to make me king at the Landsmeet. I never ever wanted that, not in my wildest dreams. But I won't refuse it if it's in the best interest of the nation either. I love you. You know that, right? But I have no idea what being king will mean for us. I'll have to think about that.
I won't let you go, Alistair. No matter what.
Let's hope we have that option. This isn't really the time for this conversation. Please, let's just talk about this another time.
Now, was all of that him being lit up from that fire, or the fire on my sword?
Something you need, my dear?
What else can we... I have some questions.
Of course.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Oh? I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
And what's the real reason?
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I do really want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is
just wanted to know
that
more
I did
about
hate going to the
you.
monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Arleman had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
I think I understand.
Using the abilities I have came after years of education and discipline that was difficult to achieve, if rewarding. The sword training and religious doctrine all came later. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
I guess my home is with the Grey Wardens now. With you.
Really? I guess I like the sound of that. We won't always be traveling like that, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Although that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if we'll ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
I just realized. I can switch my weapon set and see
Something you need, my dear?
Yes, a big part of that was my weapon. Some questions? What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
You've been a Grey Warden longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
He wouldn't tell you?
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
I haven't felt anything like that.
Really? Because I was watching you wolf down food the other day, and I thought, ooh, it's a good thing she gets a lot of exercise.
What can I say? I'm a growing girl.
I'll say. I didn't mean it like that. No, don't hit me. I bruise easily. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you'd call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
Nightmares. Yes, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up with the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we?
No!
Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live, give or take. But taint, it's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
Why Orzammar?
You'll always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. Well, there you have it.
Fair enough. It seems a high price to pay.
I suppose it is. We're the only ones who can stop the blight, however. Is there a price too high to pay for that? You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
He'll be remembered, Alistair, as will the others.
I know. Ending the blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
Okay, so if I want to talk to people, then I need to not have my flaming sword out. Got it.
I am listening.
I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, master, I exist to serve the master. I shall kill for the master and only for the master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I suspect it is, as Caradin said, something my former master did changed me. The thought that I'm unique, while smugly satisfying in its way, is also a bit daunting. The golems it has encountered, they were very different.
Other than Caradin, they didn't speak.
And now there shall be no more. I suppose it is for the best. I don't know what kind of dwarf I was, but as a golem, I am superior in every way. So there is no loss, surely.
It's an experience, I'll give it that.
So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Excuse me?
I am listening.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have
What
better things to do.
Oh, I have plenty of better things to do. Are those crystals in your skin?
I like to think of them as accessories.
Aw. Do all golems have them?
I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation.
So they're decoration?
As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will.
Did he succeed?
Not really, although now that I think of it, these attempts may be what caused my disruption. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me.
Would you be willing to have more added?
Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers
Fair
its
enough.
question, I assume. Unless it has more.
How did you end up in Hanleith? Do you remember?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
You didn't like this Wilhelm, I take it?
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Not really. It was quite the bargain.
So long as it realizes that I'm inexpensive and not cheap.
Of course. I would have thought you'd enjoy scaring humans.
I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh.
But why were you out in front of the tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
His wife?
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out.
That makes sense. That answers some questions I forgot that I had. Because I was wondering why, because Shale was smaller than like all the other golems that we'd seen. That's why! How does someone shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
Oh. Do you remember anything before Hanleith?
I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
Interesting. I'm done asking about that.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
I do, yes. What's my approval with Shale like? Still nice and high. Not super high like everybody else, but nice and high. Do you have anything to say over here, Morrigan?
What comes, my friend?
Ah! Oh, that makes me happy. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Sir Flemeth is dead. What now?
Now I have enough time to study Mother's grimoire to find a way to prevent her from stealing my body in the future. For she will be back. One day, I have no doubt of that. And if I cannot protect myself, one day I will track her down again in whatever body she inhabits, and she will die again, and again if need be. But there is no need to think of such things now. I have you to thank for saving me, so let us return to the task of dealing with the Darkspawn, no?
You know you can always rely on me, right?
Too much could happen in days to come to make such promises. Yet I am grateful. Let us go. There is much to be done before... There is still much to be done.
Let's see what else I can
comes,
talk to you
my
about.
friend?
Can I talk to you about
We're in
personal
camp,
stuff?
So 'tis as good a time as any.
Nope, I don't want to ask that because I don't want to make her feel like she has to leave. Guess not much with her. How about Sten?
I have been mistaken.
What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
What changed your mind?
You did, of course. The day will come when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield.
What are you talking about?
The future. Perhaps it will not come to pass. There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
I'm going to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
Okay.
I suggest we move on.
Nothing else, I guess. Can I ask questions?
I am hardly surprised.
Sir! Do you find Ferelden very strange? I feel like I've asked this before, but...
To put it lightly, no one has a place here.
Yes, I have
Our
asked
farmers
this.
wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become...
Never mind.
Very well.
Bye.
As you wish.
Haven't spoken
That could have
to you in
gone
a long
better.
time. There. Oh yeah. Oh God. It has been a while. There's plenty more where she came from.
After this thing with the archdemons over, I'll have to pry the ladies off with pliers, I suppose. Might as well rest up while I can. You ready to go?
I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
Do you miss Orzammar?
What? Miss Orzammar? Are you mad, in addition to being ugly?
Excuse me.
They treated me like a puddle fly back there. I'm never going back.
Let's talk about something else.
All right.
We'll talk later.
Aye. All right, then.
Can I not
Pull
ask
up
the
a
other
drink,
questions?
Warden. Join me in my sodding hole.
Something bothering you?
Just tired is all. Did you want to talk about something?
Tell me more about berserkers.
What the sod is there to know? You get mad, you fly into battle, and things die. It's pretty simple. The hard part is getting in touch with your rage. We all learn to hold that back. It's why we don't kill every duster who looks at us sideways. You need to shut that off. For some people, being in battle is enough. But others have to think about
I
something.
feel like I've asked this too.
Violence, monsters, nobles, your wife, whatever.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm listening.
I want to know more about you.
What about?
What's it like to be a warrior in Orzammar?
You get a sword or an axe, and are told to go out and defend your city. It's the best thing in the world. That is until you try to live in the city you saved.
What do you mean?
I mean, they train you to kill, Teach you to harness your rage at the first noise you hear, then try to set 100 sodding rules about it. Like those provings. Ancestors show their favor through the strongest arm, right? So why so many rules saying how to fight, and when you win, and not to bloody kill? Killing's what swords are for.
Fighting without killing is the skill of a true warrior.
If that's how you feel, I'll try that out next time the Darkspawn are chewing on your leg. This makes me cranky. Don't you have any other inane questions?
Nah.
Alright.
Bye.
Aye. Alright then.
But I pissed him off. Yep, I pissed him off. What's... My approval with him is... That's pretty low. That makes me feel bad. So I would like to buy him gifts.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this
Actually...
hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife?
I never asked you about your story. What's your story exactly?
Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Why did you leave?
One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
And did you steal them?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost ties. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
I see.
The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me. I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Now here you are.
Yes, here I am. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
You didn't mention your son in your tale.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think. And he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
That's the first thing he said that hasn't been enchantment or prompted by someone else, I think. Blood isn't all that important.
That's how I've always felt. As long as he's happy, so am I. It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
That makes sense. But where do these good come from? Not the deep roads.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the lost tides, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean?
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
I suppose it's better than having the Darkspawn take it all.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Heard any rumors?
Of all the strange news, everyone's talking about some brother in Denerim claiming that the Urn of Sacred Ashes has been found. Actually found.
We
I
found
understand
it.
the Chantry is a bit skeptical and probably won't get a chance to deal with the brother's claim until after the war is ended. But it's incredible even so, don't you think? That's what I've heard on the road anyhow. Take it for what it is.
You see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
I need... Let's see. All those runes I sold. I need some thoughtful gifts. That's more than I needed. But that's fine. Give one of these to Shale once I find it. Oh yeah, I bought 13.
I'm to keep.
I don't need 13.
It'll do, sure. It'll do, sure.
2.
It'll do, sure.
There we go. Up all the way.
Most kind.
I'm to keep this, am I? Fine.
And I guess I'll keep those just in case. Just in case things fall. I should talk to Ogren now that our approval is higher.
Just leave me alone, Warden. Seriously.
Why? Are you upset about something?
Upset? Ugh. I don't get upset. I get drunk. Did you want to talk about something?
Not really. Just saying hello.
Aye. Well, hello.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to Wynn now.
Thank you so much.
This is about an errand, I assume?
Yes, you led me to an errand. You persisted, even though I was sure all you were going to find was a dead end.
I'm glad I could help.
I will never be able to repay you for what you've done for me. Finding an errand allowed me to bring that chapter of my life to a close. I feel free. A great weight has been lifted off my heart. This moment, it feels like the moment before the sunrise, when all the world is still, holding its breath, waiting for first light. I can stop thinking about my past and look forward to the future. Thank you, my friend. You will always have my gratitude.
What else do we have that we can talk about?
What's on your mind?
Have you changed your mind about Alistair and me?
I have watched you for a time, and perhaps I was wrong. There seems to be something special between the two of you. He seems less guarded when in your company, allows himself to relax, and he seems genuinely happy.
Well, I'm happy with him.
I think I was too harsh in my judgment before, and I am sorry.
Apology accepted.
What you have may not last forever. Death and duty may part you, but love's worthiness is not diminished because of that. I should have seen this before. Instead, you learn to cherish every precious moment that you spend together, knowing that it may be the last. And for those of us watching, well, it brings warmth to these old bones to know that something so beautiful can be found in the midst of chaos and strife.
There was more to ask her
What's on
about.
your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle.
I'm sure you'll be able to return if you choose.
Perhaps.
Okay. Pavilion.
Do you remember our discussion?
Sure!
I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right.
Is this about Marjolaine?
Despite what Marjolaine
Yes.
says, I am not like her. I know that now. I've found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you.
Cool.
So, you and Alistair.
Yes?
You and Alistair. Together, looking contented. You even have a glow about you. So shameless.
He does make me very happy.
So, how is Alistair?
He looks fine to me.
You know what I mean. Alistair and you, those long nights. He must be quite delightful. You wouldn't be so happy otherwise, I think.
Ma'am!
He's athletic. That's always nice. He is also good at following instructions, isn't he?
Ma'am! You do not need to be asking these questions! I'm very happy with his performance.
Ooh, fascinating. The little Templar is all grown up, and apparently he plays well with others. He must keep me updated on any new developments.
Must I? Can I lead the conversation?
Touched
Oh
and
my God.
dust his ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth. The remains of the Maker's chosen.
This is like the first time that I started talking to Win. Can I ask you things, please? I would not have disturbed them but for the Arl's sake.
I know. It seems almost irreverent to use her as a curative. And it is also a tiny bit morbid. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her.
Why do you even revere Andraste?
Why shouldn't I? I don't understand.
I am not of your... Never mind. I forgot I said anything.
Then let us move on.
I didn't want to argue with her about that.
I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you?
Yes. We need to talk.
Of course.
But what? Are you feeling better about what happened with Marjolaine?
Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no?
I just wanted to make sure you were alright.
I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times, though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past.
You know you can talk to me if you need to.
It's not so bad. Look, now I have new friends, a new family. In spite of it all, life is good.
Now we talk to Zevran now that he's free from the crows.
I did not thank you. It occurs to me now that you have freed me from the crows, and yet I did not think to thank you for it. No matter why you did it, it was done, and I the benefactor. So, thank you.
We're friends, Zevran. I was glad to do it.
You say that so quickly, and yet it is an odd thing for me to hear. In the Crows, we do not have friends, and yet here you are, and I cannot help but consider you such.
I consider you a friend as well.
Then allow me to say this. What we are doing here, stopping the Blight, I cannot think of anything I have ever done which is so worthy. I intend to see this through to the end with you. After all, someone must take responsibility for preventing your untimely death. A suitable task for a friend, yes?
I think that's an excellent plan.
Now, isn't that odd? Just a year ago, Taliesin was telling me, Zevran, why are your plans always so horrid? Planning has never been my strong suit. Now, killing and lovemaking. Killing and lovemaking and witty retorts. Those I am better at. I forget where I was going with this. Well, no matter.
Okay, cool. So the codex got updated a little bit, and also while I'm thinking about it, I need to see the people not in my party, not in my common party, level up. Yes. So that takes care of him. Win up. Ooh, by 3. Constitution, please. Herbalism. Winter's Grasp is always a good spell. What did I miss? Oh, 2 of those. Duh. Lightning is good. Shock is also good. And then after Wind. Is this a Shale? Death Blow. See you. And then after I finish with leveling up, then we're gonna go back to Denerim, go to Arl Eamon's estate, and talk to everyone again, see if being in the estate changes anything, gives any new dialogue for anybody, and then we'll cut it. So this is gonna be a little bit shorter than the videos have been recently. Why not? Oops. There were more of those. There were more of those that I missed. Yeah. Stun. Constitution up. Strength. Was it just the one? Yes. And then anyone else? Just the pupper. Okay.
Very well.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Our typical team. I don't want to give Eamon the papers when I first get there if I can help it. I should save before I actually enter the estate.
There is but one world, one life, one death.
The estate is That's the alienage that way, I think. No, that's the alienage. That's where I want to go.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orthamar.
No, let's go in through the front. I wanted to save outside. Don't kick me into a cutscene, please. Oh, thank God. I got nervous.
This is a nice estate, isn't it? What's on your mind?
Okay, while we're here, I was just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
Everyone expects so much from me.
No one said it would be easy. You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I will be ready when the time comes.
And that gives me hope.
Okay. There's her. Even if they don't really have much to say about this place, I want to hear their little side comments at
This
least.
is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? Something I can help with?
What do you know of this place?
Denerim is Ferelden's most important city, yes? This is the seat of power, the jewel in the crown of the king. She is Ferelden's heart. Her walls are strong, but within them lies so much beauty, just like the country and the people.
Let's talk about something else.
Something I can help with?
Never mind. But you.
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bed bugs had fleas. Your wish?
Care to answer some questions?
Whatever you'd like to ask.
Tell me more about your adventures.
Again? Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once.
If you like, certainly.
No, I'll not inflict that upon you just yet. Let's see. How about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Osrine. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
I doubt it.
Prince Osrine was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Osrine once and for all. I was in one of those cells.
Is this sort of thing common in Antiva?
Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
Seems like an odd way to run the country.
Antiva might seem a bit odd in that way to outsiders. We take it in stride, however. Assassins are simply part of the landscape, so to speak. My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history.
You're very lucky indeed.
It's true. I live a charmed life. One of the prostitutes that raised me was a fortune teller. Said I wouldn't die young. She was rather startled by that. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
And wouldn't that fortune teller have felt so silly if I had killed him? We spoke with Shale once before in here, but we'll...
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical.
Never mind. Just wanted to hear that, I guess. Miss Dogren. How do I... There we go. There you are.
I got a moment's haze, sure.
Sir! I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
One second thought, maybe another time.
All right.
Bye!
All right, then.
Not really a whole lot to talk to him about, but... real classy. That his, special dialogue here. Guess I shouldn't really expect much. So we got people in here.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. What comes, my friend?
I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
Each other's to become shape changer?
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
And why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
I wonder if that's I should ask multiple times.
If one more servant asks if what comes, my friend?
Ask you something.
So, full
You teach others.
if I had the desire to.
Okay, come on.
I do not.
As you wish. Guess we have to be a bitch to her, and I don't want to be a bitch to her.
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Bodahn?
What? What? Ah! I'm so confused. What? I don't understand. What? I'm sorry that threw me off so hard because I don't remember the exact translation. But I'm pretty sure Bodahn is like a Canary term of endearment. It comes up in Inquisition if you romance Bull. I know that much. Sten! Shush! I have a question!
I am hardly surprised.
Never mind.
Very well.
Bye.
As you wish.
What the fuck? I'm so confused. He barks happily wagging his tail. He's a good boy. Well, that's in Nora's room. And the only one of our party in there is Alistair, which we've talked to in here before. So, I knew it was going to be a little early, but we are going to cut it here. We'll give Eamon those papers next time. But for now, if you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Maybe tap that notification bell to get notified every time I upload. See you on the flip side. Elisa out.